Right, I thought I would make a very quick little video to show some of the arguably more advanced ways of sharing content on a Zoom webinar, which actually isn't that difficult. And we could maybe all be doing things like this. Right now, I'm live on Zoom. I'm recording the output from Zoom. So if you were to join me right now on this Zoom call, you would see me as a webcam as normal, and I could start sharing content such as my screen, PowerPoints, that type of thing, you know, what most of us do when we're out delivering training. But you can also have a kind of multi-setup whereby not just one webcam is showing the presenter. If I quickly switch my camera, you will see that you're now looking behind me. I've got a camera set up back here as a second, it's just a small second webcam sitting on my shelf behind me rather than in front of me. I need to be a little bit careful when I switch to this one because you start seeing the room a little bit messier. But by doing that, I can demonstrate, you know, other things that I can't just with a kind of front facing camera. Let me switch back again to the front facing camera like that. So two webcams plugged into the computer, easily switched between Zoom. You'll notice that I'm actually just clicking a button. In fact, maybe you didn't notice that. I'll show you that in a minute. You can toggle between webcams nice and easily on Zoom, just to give you different options. So what I could do, I could start screen sharing. So if I find something worthy of sharing with you, bear with me, I should really have prepared this a little bit better in advance. I'll just go and grab any old PowerPoint. What have we got? Something off the desktop here. The golf social media thing I did not that long ago. So if I just start firing up a PowerPoint, and if I go and start sharing my screen, then if I just do screen share, and most of you know exactly what I'm talking about when I do that, and I start sharing screen two, what you should now be seeing is my PowerPoint of the golf thing I did down at Trump Turnberry not that long ago. The man himself wasn't there, by the way. I might not have gone had he been. And you should also be seeing again, the small icon of me speaking to you via the webcam. And again, like before, I could switch that and you're now viewing my PowerPoint and the view from behind me. Why you would want to, I don't know. But you can just with your multiple inputs. And what happens if I want to show, let me just stop sharing. Let me stop sharing my screen just for a second. Stop sharing. What happens if I want to share both my webcams? What happens if I want to share, maybe again, imagine this camera behind me, imagine that it's there, by the way, you can kind of see it sitting on the shelf. Imagine it was a camera above me pointing down because I wanted to film, you know, maybe me typing on the keyboard or writing in a book, or I was doing some craft work or some arts and crafts, some knitting, pretend I'm Tom Daly. And I want you to be able to talk to me on the webcam, but actually see the footage of me doing the knitting. Well, one of the things you can do on Zoom, which is really nice, is the screen sharing part of Zoom, where it says screen share, you can actually click into the advanced tab of screen share and connect content from a second camera. So now what I'm sharing with you, and I hope you see this on the recording, is I'm sharing my main camera is still my webcam, and my secondary camera is now the alternative to me sharing my screen. It's sharing the content from that camera. So as I say, had that camera been the one pointing down, that would make maybe a little bit more sense. You're showing something of value while I'm still talking to you. So, okay, let me again stop sharing that. The last thing I want to show you is quite nice. What happens if I want to show a third input? A third camera, why on earth would I want to do that? I don't know. Well, actually, do you know what? I told you earlier on, I said to you, just mimic this up again. I said, you know, here's my setup, showing the camera from behind me. And as you can see over here, I have my microphone, and over here I have what's called the Stream Deck. But I'd like to show you that close up, kind of zoomed in. So here's another little tip to take advantage of your mobile phone. Using it as a camera. So let me switch back to my main camera, and let me start screen sharing again. Now I've still got that silly, let me just start screen sharing my screen again. So now I'm sharing my screen, and again, you should probably be seeing my golf presentation. I should really move this forward. There we go. There's a cheesy picture of me on the screen now. But the beauty of sharing your screen is if you use some decent bits of software, you can actually bring over your mobile phone onto the screen. I'm using a lovely bit of software which I love to use called Reflector. Reflector is a means for you to share your mobile phone onto your screen. And again, I repeat, I'm sharing my screen with you. So now I've got another camera I can show you. Now I can zoom right in and show you the Stream Deck, which I love to use. And I can talk about it, and I can talk about how I've programmed it to allow shortcuts for Zoom to switch my cameras and so on. I can show you my microphone. I can show you my main camera. I can show you my ring light. And so you've got another kind of, handheld camera that you can share with anybody on a Zoom call, simply because all I'm doing is sharing my mobile phone. Let me just come out of that. Sharing my mobile phone onto my screen, and I'm sharing my screen. So what am I doing? I'm sharing my front-facing camera. If I do a bit of this, I can share my back-facing camera. I can share my screen. I can share my mobile phone. Suddenly, Zoom becomes quite an interactive sharing platform. Guys, I hope that's been valuable. Let me just turn off my screen sharing to finish off. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope that's been a little bit of an insight into how to get more from Zoom, do more interactive sharing, show more things, give the viewers an alternative perspective on things. Always good to mix it up rather than just having, one particular down the lines chat with somebody. Again, if you can mix it up and make it more engaging and interactive, usually a better thing to do. Right, I hope that was valuable. Take care. See you all later. Enjoy your next Zoom session, as I always do myself. Bye-bye. Take care.